As we age past 60, one of the most commonly reported but often misunderstood health challenges is the gradual weakening of the legs. A change that doesn't always come with an obvious cause but can deeply affect independence, confidence, and overall quality of life. And while many assume that this weakness is simply a normal part of aging, the truth is far more nuanced. Because leg weakness is often not just about muscle atrophy or a lack of exercise, but rather a complex interaction between lifestyle, nutrient absorption, hormonal shifts, nerve function, and circulation. And unless we understand the deeper nutritional reasons behind this decline, we may overlook the very tools that can restore strength, stability, and vitality more quickly than we imagine. Because when someone over 60 begins to notice that walking upstairs feels harder, or getting out of a chair takes more effort, or there's a sense of wobbliness or heaviness in the lower limbs, it's easy to chalk it up to age. But many of these symptoms have roots in deficiencies that build up over time, often silently, starting with subtle fatigue or slower recovery from physical activity, and then escalating into weakness, unsteadiness, and even fall risk. And the critical mistake that many older adults make is assuming that more exercise alone will solve the issue, when in reality, no amount of physical activity can fully compensate for underlying vitamin and mineral deficits that are essential to the muscle nerve connection, bone strength, mitochondrial energy, and anti-inflammatory balance. So understanding the nutritional side of leg weakness becomes not just helpful, it becomes necessary. And if we go back to basics, the muscular system operates through signals sent from the brain and spinal cord through the peripheral nerves to muscle fibers. And for that communication to be clear and strong, your body depends on adequate levels of certain vitamins that regulate everything from calcium transport to nerve insulation to energy conversion. And without those nutrients, no matter how strong you were in your youth or how active you try to remain, your legs may still feel like they're losing their power. So this conversation needs to start not with exercise routines or physical therapy alone, but with what's happening internally, starting with the nutrients that often go missing quietly as we get older. And unfortunately, several of the most critical vitamins for leg strength are also among the ones most frequently depleted due to age-related changes in digestion, medication use, and reduced dietary diversity. And while many of these deficiencies are common, they're not always easy to spot early, because the body is remarkably adaptable. It will try to function normally for as long as it can before sending distress signals like fatigue, shakiness, or muscle cramps. But once those signals show up, the decline can accelerate rapidly unless the root causes are addressed. And one key reason older adults lose strength is because of the drop in stomach acid production after 60, which reduces the absorption of key nutrients like vitamin B12, magnesium, and even protein. And without enough stomach acid, even if you're eating well, your body may not be extracting the nutrients it needs, particularly those that support neuromuscular coordination, cellular energy, and bone density. And on top of that, medications that are commonly prescribed after 60, like acid reducers, diuretics, statins, and even some diabetes drugs, can quietly deplete vitamins and minerals like CoQ10, potassium, and B vitamins, all of which play a direct role in lower body strength, muscle contraction, and energy production. And that's why leg weakness after 60 is not just a question of lifestyle or aging. It's often the result of years of gradual nutrient loss, unrecognized absorption issues, and metabolic changes that only come to light once the body begins to noticeably slow down. And understanding this dynamic gives you the power to address leg weakness from the inside out, with targeted support that can improve how your body functions at a cellular level. And in many cases, restoring just a few specific nutrients can have a dramatic impact. Not overnight, but steadily, especially when paired with gentle movement, hydration, and good sleep, because the legs are incredibly responsive to nutrient repletion, given how muscle fibers, capillaries, and nerves all rely on a constant supply of vitamins and minerals to perform efficiently. So if you've been feeling like your legs just don't have the same energy or coordination they once did, and you've already tried increasing your activity without much improvement, the issue may not be what you're doing on the outside. It may be what you're missing on the inside. And once we explore which vitamins are most essential for rebuilding lower body strength and how to restore them safely and effectively, we begin to change not only how the body feels, but also how you move through the world with confidence and resilience. Because no one wants to live with the fear of falling, struggling to get up, or being unable to enjoy a walk or climb a few stairs without worry. And the good news is that with the right information and consistent action, it is absolutely possible to regain strength, rebuild coordination, and restore the energy in your legs by correcting deficiencies that have gone unchecked for too long. This brings us directly into the first of the 6 vitamins that play a foundational role in leg strength after 60, and that's vitamin D, which is so much more than a bone nutrient. Because while most people recognize its importance for calcium absorption and osteoporosis prevention, fewer realize that vitamin D receptors exist throughout the muscles and nerves, meaning that without adequate levels of this critical vitamin, the signaling between the brain and the lower limbs begins to falter, leading to slower reflexes, shakier balance, reduced muscle contraction, and even pain or heaviness in the legs. And what's even more concerning is that the majority of adults over 60 are either deficient or insufficient in vitamin D due to reduced sun exposure, changes in skin's ability to synthesize it from sunlight, and low dietary intake. And when this vitamin is missing or suboptimal, even simple movements can feel harder than they should, because your muscles are literally not being told what to do as clearly or quickly as before. And restoring vitamin D, whether through moderate sun exposure, fortified foods, or supplements under medical guidance, can bring a noticeable difference in leg stamina, reaction time, and postural control, which all become critical for avoiding falls and remaining independent. And while it's tempting to think of vitamin D as a bone vitamin, its real power in this context lies in how it integrates muscle control with nervous system function, especially in the hips and thighs, which are the main movers when we walk, stand, or climb stairs. And this is why so many people report feeling more energy and less leg fatigue within weeks of correcting a vitamin D deficiency, especially when it's combined with vitamin K2, which helps direct calcium into bones and out of soft tissues, further supporting joint and muscle function without the risk of arterial calcification. And moving into the second vitamin, B12, we see another layer of leg weakness that is far too often misdiagnosed because B12 is essential for forming the protective sheath around nerves called the myelin sheath. And when B12 levels drop, nerve transmission slows down or becomes erratic, which can show up as numbness, tingling, instability, and even burning sensations in the feet or calves. And unlike some nutrients, B12 deficiency doesn't just make you tired. It physically alters how your body moves and responds. And seniors are especially vulnerable because the ability to absorb B12 from food declines with age due to reduced stomach acid and intrinsic factor. And people who have taken acid-reducing medications for heartburn or reflux for years are at even greater risk. And because B12 stores can take years to deplete, many seniors go undiagnosed for too long, believing that the growing fatigue or leg shakiness is just aging, when it's actually an easily correctable deficiency. And once B12 is reintroduced through injections or high-absorption oral forms like methylcobalamin or sublingual tablets, the improvement in nerve signaling and leg strength can be both rapid and dramatic, especially if caught early enough. And next we come to magnesium, which is not only involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, but is directly responsible for muscle contraction and relaxation, meaning that every step you take, every time your quadriceps or calves fire to keep you upright or moving forward, magnesium is at work behind the scenes to ensure smooth and balanced muscular activity. And when magnesium is low, which it often is in people over 60 due to poor intake, medication losses, and reduced kidney efficiency, Muscles begin to cramp, fatigue more quickly, and lose their natural rhythm. And in severe cases, magnesium deficiency contributes to restless legs, nighttime spasms, and general weakness that makes walking feel effortful. And the challenge is that blood tests don't always show low magnesium accurately because the body maintains tight control in the bloodstream, pulling it from cells and bones if necessary. So symptoms often appear before lab results do. And increasing magnesium-rich foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and legumes, or supplementing with gentle forms like magnesium glycinate or citrate can bring about noticeable improvements in muscle recovery, energy levels, and fluid movement of the legs. And the fourth nutrient, vitamin E, is lesser known in this conversation, but just as important because it acts as a powerful antioxidant that protects the delicate membranes of muscle cells and nerve fibers from oxidative stress, which increases with age and inflammation. And when vitamin E levels are suboptimal, muscles may become more prone to damage, nerves may fire less efficiently, and circulation to the extremities may be compromised, leading to that all-too-familiar sensation of heavy legs, poor endurance, or slow recovery after even mild activity. And adding healthy sources of vitamin E, such as sunflower seeds, almonds, spinach, and avocado, can help support vascular integrity and neuromuscular function, ensuring that the legs receive not only the nutrients, but also the oxygen they need to perform well. And by now, we can start to see that leg weakness isn't just a mechanical issue. It's a biochemical one, rooted in missing pieces that can be restored with care and knowledge. And the last two vitamins, which we'll explore next, round out this essential nutrient support system for restoring strength, coordination, and vitality in the legs after 60. The fifth vitamin that plays a critical yet often overlooked role in the strength and function of the legs after 60 is folate, also known as vitamin B9, which works closely with B12 in supporting nerve health, red blood cell formation, and overall circulation. And when folate is deficient, it doesn't just cause fatigue, it impairs the oxygen delivery to muscle tissues, particularly in the legs where sustained walking or standing requires constant blood flow and cellular energy. And because folate also regulates homocysteine levels, which if elevated can damage blood vessels and lead to poor circulation. Having enough of it is vital for seniors who may already be dealing with vascular issues or cardiovascular risk factors that impact lower limb performance. And folate deficiency can quietly creep in over time, especially in those who consume limited fruits and vegetables, or in those taking medications that deplete folate like methotrexate or certain anticonvulsants. And while folic acid is the synthetic form found in many supplements and fortified foods, the natural and more bioavailable form, methylfolate, is often better absorbed and utilized, especially for older adults with genetic variations like MTHFR that impair folate metabolism. And by restoring proper folate levels through diet and supplements, oxygenation and nutrient delivery to the legs can improve, reducing that dragging, heavy feeling, and enhancing energy during physical activity. And finally, we reach the sixth vitamin, vitamin C, which is widely known for immune support, but deserves much more attention for its role in muscle repair, collagen synthesis, and circulation, especially in aging legs. Because as we age, micro tears in muscle fibers, reduced capillary integrity, and slower wound healing all contribute to leg weakness and discomfort. And vitamin C plays a direct role in counteracting these problems by strengthening connective tissue, reducing oxidative stress, and supporting the repair of muscle and blood vessels. And since the legs are constantly under strain from supporting body weight and daily movement, they need a steady supply of collagen to keep tendons, ligaments, and blood vessels resilient. And without enough vitamin C, not only does collagen synthesis decline, but iron absorption also drops, further reducing the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. And this double hit, less repair and less oxygen, translates to slower recovery, more soreness, and longer bouts of fatigue after movement. And increasing vitamin C through foods like citrus fruits, bell peppers, like berries and broccoli, or through supplements during times of deficiency, can contribute significantly to better lower limb performance and faster muscular regeneration. And once all 6 of these vitamins, D, B12, magnesium, E, folate, and C, are brought back to healthy levels, either through diet or appropriate supplementation, most seniors begin to notice that their legs don't just feel stronger, but also more stable, coordinated, and reliable throughout the day, especially when combined with hydration and gentle resistance exercises like walking, heel raises, leg lifts, and balance drills. And it's this multi-layered approach: nutritional support first, then movement, that creates lasting change. And it's important to remember that while medications and physical therapy have their place, they often only address symptoms, whereas addressing vitamin deficiencies targets the root cause of leg weakness from within, giving the muscles, nerves, and vessels the raw materials they need to perform at their best. And one of the most empowering parts of this process is that it doesn't require extreme effort or expensive treatments. It simply requires consistent attention to what your body may be missing and a willingness to nourish it accordingly. And as you start giving your body the right nutritional support, you may also notice secondary benefits like improved sleep, better focus, fewer cramps, and more overall energy. Because these vitamins don't just affect your legs, they play vital roles in your entire physiology, from cellular repair and enzyme function to mood regulation and cardiovascular performance. And since the legs are often where weakness first shows up, especially in the form of muscle loss or balance problems, they serve as an early warning system that something inside the body may be off balance. And paying attention to these signals and responding with the proper nutritional interventions can mean the difference between declining mobility and vibrant independence. And for many people over 60, regaining strength in the legs isn't just about avoiding falls or improving stamina. It's about reclaiming the ability to enjoy life again without fear or frustration, to take a walk around the block, to garden, to dance, or to travel without worrying about whether your legs will keep up with your spirit. And what's most exciting is that these improvements often come not from dramatic overhauls, but from small, focused changes that accumulate over weeks and months, gradually rebuilding the foundation of strength from the inside out. And when that strength returns, so too does confidence, dignity, and a renewed sense of possibility in daily life. Because strength isn't just physical, it's emotional. And when your legs feel capable, the rest of your life begins to open up in ways that might have seemed out of reach before. And that's the beauty of giving your body the vitamins and nutrients it needs. It responds with gratitude in the form of restored function and newfound vitality. And as we reach this final and most important reflection on everything we've explored about leg weakness after 60, it's essential to understand that what may at first seem like a simple problem, heaviness, fatigue, or instability in the legs, is almost never just about age or wear and tear, but rather a deeply interconnected result of how well or how poorly our bodies have been supported nutritionally, emotionally, and physically over time. And if you found yourself or someone you love beginning to lose the ease of walking, rising from a chair, climbing stairs, or feeling confident on uneven ground, the message here is that you are far from alone, but more importantly, you are not powerless, and there are science-backed, natural, and achievable solutions that can help you rebuild not only physical strength, but also the very sense of self-trust and independence that often gets shaken when our legs start to give out or feel unreliable. And one of the most common mistakes people make is assuming that weakness or trembling in the lower limbs is inevitable with aging, when in reality, it's often the result of long-term cumulative nutrient depletion, sometimes compounded by medications, low activity, stress, or unrecognized medical conditions. And this is why paying attention to those 6 foundational vitamins, B12, magnesium, E, folate, and C, isn't just a wellness tip. It's a lifeline for healthy aging. And even more than that, it's a powerful reminder that aging doesn't mean declining by default, because when we provide our bodies with what they've been silently asking for, nutrients, movement, care, and attention, the response is often rapid and deeply meaningful. And you may be surprised to find that what once felt heavy now feels light. What once caused worry now inspires confidence. And what once held you back now propels you forward with renewed momentum. And this journey isn't just about vitamins. It's about listening to your body in a way that perhaps you haven't done in years, recognizing the whispers of discomfort or weakness as signals rather than signs of defeat, and choosing to act with intention. Because even if you haven't exercised in years, even if your diet hasn't been perfect, even if you've ignored some of these warning signs until now, it's never too late to begin nourishing your body in a smarter, more targeted way. And the truth is, your legs, your wonderful, resilient, strong legs, have carried you through decades of life, and they deserve to be supported now more than ever. Not just so you can avoid walkers or canes, not just so you can prevent falls, but so that you can truly live unafraid to move through the world with purpose and strength. And the empowerment that comes from reclaiming control over your mobility cannot be overstated, because it feeds directly into your mental well-being, your emotional resilience, and your ability to remain engaged with family, friends, passions, and daily joy. And at Healthful Living 60 Plus, we believe that thriving after 60 means more than just surviving or managing symptoms. It means taking bold, informed steps to restore what time, stress, or inattention may have taken away. And we're here to guide you through that process with compassion, clarity, and a deep understanding that you deserve to feel strong, capable, and energized in every phase of life. And leg strength is one of the first things to go when nutrition falters, but also one of the first things to come back when it's corrected. So if you start today, whether it's by reviewing your diet, checking in with your doctor about vitamin levels, adding purposeful movement to your daily routine, or simply becoming more aware of how your body feels after you eat, walk, stretch, or rest, you're already making progress. And as you continue, know that every small decision you make in favor of your well-being compounds, day after day, into a foundation of vitality that builds beneath your feet, literally supporting not just your legs, but your future, because when your legs are strong, you walk with more than balance. You walk with dignity, with freedom, and with the spirit of someone who refuses to surrender to aging as decline, and instead embraces it as evolution. So thank you for walking this path with us today. And as always, we invite you to stay connected to your body, your health, and your purpose with intention and strength. Because here at Healthful Living 60 Plus, we believe your best years are not behind you. They're right beneath your feet, ready to carry you wherever your heart still dreams to go.